Now, over the years, and based on the work that we did many, many years ago, 20 years plus ago, really opened up the conversation around the 7 areas of life. And that was based on work we did with Dr. John Demartini. And we've mentioned him many times. He was very impactful on our own journey of professional and personal development, how we saw the world, universal law, all of those things. And when we look at the 7 areas of life, as we break them down, we go, okay, so there's life. And in life, there's the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, vocational, financial, and what we'll call relational kind of buckets, if you will, within life. So life isn't any one thing, it's a number of things. And when we break it into those 7 components, it's easier to grasp. It's easier to kind of start to think backwards from, well, what is my life all about? And right now, you may be focused on what's happening vocationally or what's happening familial, like or relational with your kids, your family. It could be that. It could be a career development. And so when you start to put them in containers, you realize that you can be having a really shitty day. And then when you step back from it, you go, well, it's not my whole day. It's not my whole life is crappy. I'm having some challenges in my career, or maybe financially you felt like you take a hit. So you break it down. And it's all to say this, when we break it down that way, we're less apt to say, okay, where's the balance in all that? Because there really isn't. There's just times where one bucket is being filled more than the other. That would be one way to look at it. What's your thoughts?
Well, I agree completely. And I'm so blessed that we did that, found that Dr. Demartini work many years ago, that we were able to start to have conversations within our marriage, because people would look at us sometimes and say, all you guys do is work. You work. And I'm like, is that really true? I had so much fun with my friends. We had family, gatherings every Sunday. It wasn't like it was work. But on the outside, it looked like that. But that was what for me, I speak for myself, that was my priority. That's what I loved to do. And when you can focus on what you love to do, the other stuff starts to fall into place in a much healthier way. Mm-hmm. So I love to skate. I love to talk. I love to help people. And I started to build a career on it. So my friends, I started to see that they would, they'd buy into the conversation, or maybe they just want to talk about other things. And some people would come and go out of our lives. So it really is what you're focused on, what you love to do. Look at what you're surrounding yourself with, where you live, and start to identify, is that truly what you love? And if it isn't, that could be the first, what would I call it? Kind of a trigger that you think that you're out of balance, so to speak.
Well, I think there's a few things behind it, not least of which is many are impacted by social media. And when I say many, I have fallen into that trap over the years, and I'm pretty good at it now. I don't have a lot of attachment around it, but let's put it this way. We all look at social media. I shouldn't say we all, most or many look at social media. They see that moment in time, that perfect picture that was of literally a moment in time that gets posted. And then if you're comparing yourself to that moment in time where somebody's walking down the beach or having a good time or at a party or whatever the case may be, you may in fact look at your life and go, oh, I don't ever have moments like that, which is not true, but I don't ever have moments like that. I must not be living my best life. I may be or must be out of balance. And so to your point earlier, you used the word illusion. So we have this illusion we live that we think we're not enough, we're not having the best life, we're out of balance, we should be working less, making way more money, hanging out at the beach or hanging out with friends on the boat, whatever the case may be. And it is a bit of an illusion, and we're setting ourselves up for an immense amount of frustration, because there is just a part of it that just may not be what it is for you yet, and or you can improve on it. So do you want to expand on that a little bit?
I do. We did a podcast a while back called Ask Us Anything. And there was 2 questions on there. It just popped into my mind. 2 questions relatively the same. And they asked us, how do you guys separate work and your home life, your partners in business, your partners in life, etc.? And because it came out twice, I found it quite interesting. And I feel our answers were quite direct around, we don't really see it that way. Mm-hmm. We have our life, and within our life, we have shared businesses. If I need some extra TLC from you, or I need something that maybe looks more like a hobby, or looks like we're going to hang out and do not talk business that day, then I have to express that as a person, as a woman, as your wife. I'm not expecting you to say, okay, we're going to have 50-50. 50% of our conversation at dinner is going to be around business and 50% is going to be about what? I don't know, rainbows and unicorns and whatever. I don't know. Or hobbies, in which we don't share a lot of hobbies together, because what we do share is a lot of our interest in family and in relationships and in coaching and helping people. So trying to expand on that, not so many words, is that the question was about how do you balance your life and your relationship and your business? And the fact is, I don't think we do. I just think we live in the moment. We try to prioritize. I know what my hierarchy of values is right now and that I'm working towards. So then it's my responsibility as a person to express that, not to put that on you or anybody else, or to look at anybody else's life and say, gosh, they're really out of balance because all they do is focus on their kids. To me, that's a judgment.
So let's break it down a little bit further. So when we look at the 7 areas of life, just to give some context to this and a little bit more meaning, a little more depth, when we look at the 7 areas of life, first off, we just have life. Within that life, we've broken it down into these 7 areas. What that allows us to do is step back from it. And although there is never a balance, I know that I go through life where I'm going, something I'm just putting so many hours in right now because I've got this project. I want to achieve whatever result I'm trying to achieve, and I need a break. The good news is, because we've really stepped into a world where we love what we do most of the time when it comes to our careers and our businesses. It's not to say, by the way, we're not faced with epic challenges, because we are. But the reality of it is if I'm working hard, I've got a project, I've got things I want to do that I want to get done, and I'm feeling tired, I just say, okay, it's time to take a break. It's time to peel back. And then I can look at it and go, something, I've been so busy, I haven't been physical enough. I haven't got my workout in or a workout in. And now I have to get physical. So what do? I go out. It's perfect time of year. I go do yard work. I work up a sweat. I do whatever I need to do to get physical, because to me, that brings me back into some form of equilibrium mentally. It also supports me emotionally and even spiritually, because I'm out doing something and my focus is not just on the business aspect of it. That's where some great ideas get to show up.